guys, we're in Troutdale here with another call. Wind is blasting by. Look at these trees. They're frozen. Hopefully they don't fall down. Anyway, guys, we got this call to assist this other guy over here in the far distance. Talking about trucks, not trailers. Anyway, one truck, the lighter one, got hooked up by a wrecker, lifted and put it on the fifth wheel. The second one that's pulling it is obviously on the ground, needs to be lifted up and placed onto that one there which he just brought. However, the problem we've got is our wrecker, the big wrecker with the actual boom itself, is unavailable at this time. And so to get him assistance, we got to use one of our colleagues. The colleague doesn't want to make it over here for less than a few $100 to lift this thing up. And the driver does not have the funds to make it happen. So we want to help him, but unfortunately we can't, because everything costs money, especially in this terrain, this weather. And so to get this vehicle lifted up, you need an extreme amount of force with a lift that will actually lift up the front end, considering the rear is also attached. That may be like over 20,000, 25,000 pounds. And then lifting it, positioning it up in the air as he slides this truck backwards underneath it, and he couples it to the fifth wheel. That's the plan here. That's called decking. That's where you have 1, 2, and 3 trucks connected onto the fifth wheel. And so he can haul those across the country or however far he needs to go. However, the news is, without him paying what's costing us, we really can't help him. So we're going to give him the news here and see what he says. I just talked to the customer back there. He got back in his truck and gave him the info. I actually went around the city trying to see if we can find another way to get him up in the air. I also checked in with our referrals. We sometimes have to refer out our customers just because we care for them. So we referred him out to Northwestern Towing, which is a renowned towing outfit out here. Gerlach Towing, another outfit, and some other outfits that we have worked with in the past. However, everybody needs money to make it happen. And so, if we had more wreckers, more bigger trucks, we would be able to make this happen. But our limited capability limits us to, smaller vehicles, obviously larger trucks, bobtails. This would be ideal for our boom tote that would lift up the front end and he would just back in. But unfortunately, he doesn't want to pay more than, he doesn't seem to have the funds available. So, I can't make all that happen. And it's tough, you guys. Look, it's panic state still here over the last few days. Every truck that runs off the road is calling out for support. They're using their dispatch or their broker service or their company to pay. However, many companies are closed up. Many brokers are not going to pay for the recovery. Many of these dispatchers want to send you a PO and invoice them and all that stuff. And so you're doing the work here and then you're not seeing pay in 30, 60 days sometimes for the recovery. And so that's really a hardship on the tow companies, especially tow companies like ourselves. We're not a tremendously large unit. We're a small business. And so in order to receive payment, in order to do the work, we got to receive payment. And here I am in frigid temperatures going back and forth trying to find him a solution but he's not willing to pay for it. So unfortunately, we received a call. We're going to refer him out to another outfit. In this case, Gerlach Towing. Hopefully they can serve him better. I'm not certain that they can wait on the payment, invoice them later and receive payment 60 days, 30 days, whatever. No, that's the case here. He doesn't have the cash. His dispatch wants to submit payment later. He needs the help right now because he can't get on the road. So we can't do that without receiving payment. In the meantime, we got other calls that we're handling, so we're going to run to the other ones. Hey guys, we got another call here. This is a roadside emergency call. We're going to go and try to put on a spare tire on a vehicle that's broken down. It's got a flat. In the meantime, look, everywhere in Troutdale, trucks broke down. This guy, we offered to assist him earlier. His brakes are locked up, so he's trying to release the slacks on them so you can move. Trees are down. Look at that tree. We're going to Amazon in Troutdale here. That's an employee there that has had a flat tire. He ran over something. We're going to try to see if we can get his spare on. We're going to go at least take a look, see how bad of a tire damage he's got. This may take a little longer than planned. We don't have an actual tire that fits his vehicle, so if that tire is more than a puncture hole like you've seen in the past, it's going to require repairing. If the spare fits, then we'll just take the spare and put it on, and he's good to go. That's usually a roadside emergency call, tire flat outs or flats, whatever. But it is well below freezing, and it's coming down ice and snow mixture, and it is dark. And anyway, it's a lot of congestion on the road. A lot of trucks, a lot of cars broke down, a lot of trees down. And this area of Troutdale Airport or Amazon, it's not as bad. But you see these lights are blinking as well. If you look at the lights, they're flashing on and off. The electrical problems is everywhere. You got power lines leaning onto other tree limbs and other power lines. So without lights, you can't see anything. So it's not really a fun night to be out here to do an emergency call. However, we just left the truck stop after trying to winch out a semi-truck, a full 80,000. Well, he said he was 63,000 pounds with his truck. We were trying to winch him out. He didn't want to disconnect the truck from the trailer tonight because that would have been the only way we could pull him out. We couldn't pull and winch the entire truck out and trailer, considering he's fully loaded. So we wanted him to disconnect the truck from the trailer and then pull just the truck out, get him some chains on, and then have him reconnect to the trailer, and then be good. But he's stuck in front of the scale at Love's truck stop. That's another individual. He said he's going to call us tomorrow. He's burned down tonight. He's out of his hours. The part of the truck stop place is giving him grace. I guess they're not really using the scale. But yeah, we're going to be going back over there tomorrow to get him out of the way. In the meantime, we're going to do this roadside emergency call that just came in. So what we're looking for is a gray Highlander with a flat tire. Don't have the actual license plate right at this moment. So let's see if we can locate it between all these Amazon workers. Highlander, a 2022 gray Highlander, up in the front somewhere. So the process is complicated sometimes where the weather is like this. He's got lockers on this wheel, and so all the bolts are frozen. Obviously the handle it doesn't even fit in the place, so I got to defrost each bolt or scrape the ice from around, especially that one locker bolt. It's got little grooves inside of it, and that's frozen inside. The key doesn't even fit, so either I bring a heater and heat it up, or I use these, or I've got Prestone de-icer, which I'm going to spray on that locker so that the the de-icer penetrates and releases that ice, melts it, so I can put the key in there. Otherwise, I can't take that wheel off without disconnecting the actual locker bolt. So I'm doing that right now. Defrosted the bolts. We're going to put the spare on, because you can see the icicles here. The icicles. So all those bolts that I got there, had to defrost and that, get them out of there with care. So we're going to put the spare on and then tighten it to 110 psi's. The flat tire back in. We put the locker in here as well, the key for it. The flat needs to be serviced at a dealership or a service shop, a tire shop. Put on the spare, as you can see here. We tighten the bolts. We're going to lower it down and make certain that's all secure and that it will do just fine. We check the PSIs on it, and it is properly inflated. It is a new spare that hasn't been used. It's a little different than the other ones, but it should get him where he needs to go. So that's all there is with this roadside emergency service flat repair or flat exchange or spare tire. The important thing is some cars have these lockers. In winter conditions, you've got ice forming around the bolts, and so the wrenches do not go around there very well without cleaning and defrosting. So carry Prestone de-icer and then use that on the bolts, unless you want to heat them up with something. You got to scrape the ice around, otherwise they end up like this here. This is what it was there. This is ice forming, and so there's ice all the way around it. I couldn't even get my wrenches around there, so I had to defrost first. And then on top of that, the lockers need to be you got to carry a key. Make certain you have a key. If the customer doesn't have a key, you got to have a key. If you don't have the key, you can't get the tire off. So if the customer doesn't have a key, you can't get the tire off. And so it needs to be towed. But in this case, the customer had the key. I also have a key. And so we're good to go. Customer's going to be on his way here. All right, so here we are at Amazon. There's the customer's car. There's my face. Frozen here on the bottom, ice coming down. We're closing the keys in there. We're going to lock it up and then give the customer the keys back, and then he should be on his way happily. Sitting on his wheel, secure, tight, the spare is in place. So windy out here and cold. Spares in place, secure with all 5 bolts, and vehicle's ready for the road. At some point the customer is probably going to need to get that spare looked at. It is super cold out here. Super cold and super slippery. And oh gosh, my fingers again. Thank you for watching. If you get stuck out there, you know, if you want us to come out and rescue you, give us a call. Otherwise, you're at the mercy of the weather and your own ability. Thanks for watching. Now we got power everywhere out. None of the traffic lights work, and vehicles are hopefully treating this as a four-way. Because without power, the whole city is out in the dark, and snow keeps coming down. At least the airport has lights, but you know, the runway. But none of the buildings in the areas have any lights. No streets, signs, nothing. So we're at the mercy of the PGE folks that are actually taking care of us so they can bring power back on. In the meantime, we got to make our way back to our dispatch office and maybe handle another call. No traffic lights, nothing. The whole city of Troutdale is without lights right at this moment. None of the street lights work. None of the intersections are lit up. So what do? Well, you got to treat it as a four-way. Hopefully, everybody else does the same thing. So we're going through downtown Troutdale. We will be going through downtown Troutdale. Right now we're going through the truck stop exits, and basically this is frontage road in Troutdale. And as you see, people that respect the laws stop and use the four-way system. My goodness, all the trucks are backed up around here. Take a look. That's the city of Troutdale. A mess for truckers. The exit is completely, you know, as it's always been for years and years. Packed with trucks. Trucks either chaining up or chaining down, or finding shelter, finding comfort. Essentially staying out of the weather, especially if the gorge entrance is closed. And as it continues to come down, the gorge entrance is likely either to be closed or is closed already. I don't know. We just left this area just a few minutes ago. But essentially these guys are gonna be staying overnight here somewhere, and there's not enough room. So everybody's just trying to find a place to stay in comfort out of the weather. But there's not enough room. So what do? You're gonna scoot somewhere in the corners on the side of the